What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Sixx Daze. I am Bob Sixx, and today I'm reacting to and answering your questions. You'll get to see me put my old man glasses on. I had to try to figure out how I wanted to do this. I've copied your questions. I will read them. Some people are kind of weird about their username, even though it's on my channel, you know, that you asked the question. So I'm not going to do that. I mean, anybody wants to find out. I'm just going to read the question, okay? So, and I will tell some of the stories. I will have to use some creative language because YouTube's really been cracking down on references to certain chemicals and certain acts of aggression, stuff like that. So, I'll modify them. You should be able to decipher what I'm saying. I'm going to try to tell it in kind of but all this will be brutally honest. I'm going to answer the questions I got. So here we go. The first question was, it's two questions. Have I suffered from depression and or anxiety, and how do I really feel about Lil Peep? I do suffer from depression. It's not the sad, oh, doom and gloom depression. It's, I lose motivation to do anything. When it first hit me, I didn't know what it was. And I would literally sit on the couch all day in my pajamas playing Xbox until time for my kids to come home, and I would go change into my clothes so that they didn't know I literally sat on the couch playing Modern Warfare literally all day. Finally, I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? And I started doing research and doing different things to pull myself out of it. It still grabs me and it drags me down from time to time, and sometimes it takes me up to a week to get through it. I'm not clinically depressed where I feel that I need medication to help me. If you feel that way, please go get help. It's a horrible thing, and as you see, a lot of people end it all from that. Anxiety, when I was in my early 20s, I would have anxiety attacks and nobody knew what it was for a long time. And finally a doctor said, you're way too young to be having this stuff happen to you. And he got in there and did some check-in and stuff, told me what it was. And now I'm pretty good with that. I very rarely have any kind of moments. How do I feel about Lil Peep? Honestly, 100% before I answer this question, I appreciate most of his fans. His fans are the best, bar none. They show up when I do his videos. They're amazing, most of them. However, I have a few that are confused and think that my channel is a Lil Peep channel. It's not. I would never do a one artist channel. Motley Crue, my all-time favorite band, I would not even do a channel for them. I would stop doing this and just close my channel before I would do that. So please don't watch other videos and you don't even comment on the video. You just, well, what about the Lil Peep videos? I do at least one a week, so you know there's going to be one until I run out of songs. And then I have to figure something else out. But don't do that. That's not cool. I do other artists. There's thousands of people now. A lot of people want to hear different stuff, so please don't do that. How I honestly feel about Lil Peep. I feel he had potential to be even bigger than he was. His songs are very relatable. I've pointed out from the beginning, not the best singer in the world, doesn't do the best arrangements, but his music is very relatable, which is why so much of you younger people are into it. Do I think he would have made it big in the 90s or the 80s? No, absolutely not. He would not have even been paid attention to. But he came at the right time and he was saying the right things. Very appealing. I think he would have been much bigger than he already was. I mean, in that short time span, he was huge. So, like I said, I like him because I like all types of music, and I don't look at him, oh, he had tattoos and his songs are only less than 2 minutes. I don't look at that shit. I look at what he's saying. So, there's your answer. Yes, I like him, but I'm not a Peep channel. Did I get a lot of girls when I was younger? I seemed like I was a player. Yes, I've got a mad speaking game. I've always had taste for girls that were way out of my league, to include a lot of my friends' moms. It is what it is. Uh, but yeah, I learned a few secrets early in life. I had some skills, make it more appealing. So yes, I got a lot. Most of it was on the slide, but yeah, you guessed right. What was my first car? Did I like it? And what is my dream car if I have one? My first car was a German car. It was called an Opel Manta. Piece of shit, but I dug it. Didn't get to drive it a lot, but my 72 Ford Pinto runabout that was shit brown, man, I loved that car, and I drove the hell out of it. My dream car is a late 60, early 70 Chevelle Super Sport. Tricked out motor, racing slicks, all that stuff, and a thumping stereo system in it. That's my dream car. Any question? Okay. All right, this one I'll have to answer quite creatively. Would you fight a guy with a gun in your face over $50,000 if you're a millionaire? Why or why not? Well, I have actually been in this situation in the 80s. I was addicted to Girl Scout cookies, and in order to support my Girl Scout cookie habit, I sold Girl Scout cookies. And someone decided that they were going to take my Girl Scout cookies, and he put a gun in my face. I freaked for a moment, and then when I realized he didn't have his finger on the trigger, I grabbed him by his wrist to get it out of my face, spun him around, slammed him against the back of a building, and then how can I say this without sounding violent? I pushed on various parts of his body pretty hard until he quit moving. And matter of fact, I carried that piece for a few years as a good luck charm. However, that's how I know how I can answer this. If I was a millionaire, you wouldn't have, well, it's the principle. If you tried to rob me, you'd probably get the same reaction that guy did. But if I was a millionaire and I knew you needed 50,000 bucks, desperate enough to do that, I'd probably just give it to you. I mean, my life's worth more than that, obviously, if I'm a millionaire. But yeah, I have a thing about people robbing people. I don't care about you stealing from stores or corporations, that kind of shit. But when you steal from another person, that's pretty low on the ladder. Favorite new artist? I recently reacted to some. Falling in Reverse. I actually really like Juice WRLD. NF, Tom McDonald. Shit. There's a bunch. I haven't really been a big fan of this genre of music, or this era. That's why I should say not genre. This era of music, but there have been some really good artists coming out. And just like in the comedy world, when I was doing stand-up, there are some phenomenal comedians that you've never heard of. But you see all these dumbasses on Netflix with their 1 hour special because they knew the right guy. I was actually working towards getting my 1 hour special. I had that connection, but I had to have a good hour. A good solid hour. So, yeah, there are quite a few new artists, and I know some of you are upset. Well, he didn't say Lil Peep. I like Lil Peep. It's not my favorite. It says favorite. I think it said favorite. Yeah, favorite newer artist. So I like Peep. And I like X, but they're not my favorites. You specifically asked for favorites, so those are my favorites so far. Oh, and Youngblood. I cannot leave him out. I love Youngblood. That dude, badass. I like him. What is my job? Well, that's kind of a tricky question. I work 2 jobs. I have 2 businesses. I do this. I'm a father, a grandfather, a husband. So one of my jobs, I'm a Lyft driver in a warehouse for a major corporation. I do that 3 days a week, but I work a full week's worth of hours. I work 3 12-hour shifts. Paid very well to do that, which is the reason I'm still there. I work in a trophy shop. I make trophies and statues, well, not statues, but the plates that go on them. Engrave on knives, swords, all kinds of shit like that. If you follow me on Instagram, from time to time I post videos of me actually lasering swords and shit. So I have a lawn care business, small lawn care business, and I have a small pen business. I make high-end writing pens. If you look on Facebook at Wild West Pens, that's my page for my pens. I've been doing that for 14 years. My pens range from $35 to $250 a piece. And I sell more pens that are $75 and up than I do the cheaper ones. It's not for everybody. So if you can't appreciate something that's handmade, probably shouldn't look. Let's see. Q&A, yes. What are your thoughts on 2020 so far? Well, we're really not that far into it. Kind of sucks. You know, I wasn't affected by this whole coronavirus. Everybody was. I'm old. I've lived through worse shit than this. It's just being blown out of proportion. The herd has been spooked, and now all of a sudden, oh my God! I'm not saying coronavirus, don't take it serious. I'm not saying that at all. So please don't comment, well, you're a dumbass. I'm not a dumbass. I've seen some shit. That's the whole thing. So right now it's kind of sucking, but we'll get through this and we'll move on to whatever the new norm is. Favorite Peep song? I just reacted to it this week. Well, I think it is. 16 Lines has been my favorite, but Move On, Be Strong, I heard that this week. I reacted to it. That's a pretty badass song. I dig the shit out of that song, so I'm going to go with that for now. What are my hobbies? My hobbies are digging into people's heads. I like knowing why people act the way they do. I'm really a nerd. I'm a huge nerd. I'm way smarter than any of you may ever think that I am. I watch documentaries, I read, I study shit, I try to find out shit. But I really love, that's one of my hobbies, is digging into people's minds and sometimes helping them through shit. I've helped 2 people get past being suicidal, which I'm quite proud of. I help people with drug addiction, that kind of shit. You know, whatever I can do, talking to you. But I really, human psyche is my favorite thing, and I really like helping people gain self-confidence. I've helped a lot of people that gain their self-confidence, be more aggressive. By aggressive, I don't mean run around beating people up. I mean assertive, stand up for yourself. And just generally feeling better about yourself. I know that sounds like a weird hobby, but that's really my hobby. How long between recording a video and the time it comes out? That depends. Like this video right now, today is actually Friday, but because I have to work Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, that's my 12-hour shift days, I have to record videos in advance. So this video will most likely be released on Tuesday, I think is when it's scheduled for, or maybe Monday. I don't know. But sometimes I shoot it, upload it, and release it right away. Like when I do some of the bonus videos for new songs, I literally shoot it, add the green screen, make my thumbnail, and upload the video. So it varies. One of my friends, and I'm not saying this because he's my friend, it asked, who is my favorite local cover band? It's a band called, most of the members are in 2 bands, so it's the Sex Raptors / Force of Fire. That's my favorite local bands. Most of you won't know who that is. It's okay. Okay. I'm going to skip the first part of this person's question because I already answered it. I'm not Oh, wait. Yeah, the very first part. So the second part is, do I think the corona patients will skyrocket when the stay at home thing is lifted? Yes. Yes, I do. Because dumbasses won't follow simple precautions to either keep from spreading it or getting it. So, yes, I think it's going to spike. And and yes, I do think the only reason it's going down is because people are staying at home. There was just recently a study done for the first time, and I think it's 30 years or something like that. You can see the top of the Himalayan mountains. Pollution has dropped dramatically due to us staying home. So, yes, I do believe that also affects diseases. And do I hunt? And if so, what do I like to hunt? I was a hunter. I haven't done it in years. Deer is one of my favorite things to hunt. I, when I hunted deer, I did it all the processing myself. I always took them down in one shot. Never had anyone suffer. Instant, just drop, go to sleep. And I did all the processing myself because when you take your meat to a meat locker, you don't know that everything you're getting is yours. By me doing it all myself, I know that everything's mine. But yeah, I really don't have time to hunt right now. But if worst came to worst and I needed to, you bet your ass I could. What motivated me to start making YouTube videos? In the beginning, I did reaction video, or not, I'm sorry, opinion videos. If you go back in my videos prior to this past October, I think is when I started doing reaction videos. I did opinion videos for well over a year and a half because I have people contact me through DMs, walk up to me in person, and ask me my opinion on all sorts of stuff for a multitude of reasons. Number one, they know I will not bullshit them. If I know the answer, I'm going to tell it to you. And if it pisses you off, that's tough shit. You ask me, and I'm going to tell you. Also, my friends know what a nerd I am. I learn about shit that I may never need to know about, but just in case. I mean, I am a super. I know so much shit that when my friends ask me a question and I tell them I don't know, they don't believe me. So I thought that might be somewhat appealing without coming off like a nerd or I know everything. Just my raw opinion. What y'all, most of you, like about my reaction videos is how my opinion videos are, but they're about opinions. When I saw these reactions, I was like, oh, well, I like Tom McDonald. He released a video. I was like, shit, let me try it. That one didn't do so well. Someone suggested a Pete video, and here we are. So I just wanted to do it. I struggled with low subscribers for a long time. I actually lost subscribers when I quit doing it because at the very beginning, I did it my way. I talked like I do in real life, which is a lot of vulgarity. Not unnecessary vulgarity. It's just how I talk. But YouTube wouldn't promote my videos, and it held me down. So I cleaned up my language, and they kind of promoted my videos a little bit. I started to rise, and then when I started doing reaction videos, I purposely started watching my language, and it took off from there. But I just enjoy doing this, and I like to assume there's people out there that want to know what I think because I have people walk up to me and contact me all the time for it. Okay. What made me decide to start a channel and then... Okay, well, I just answered that question too on accident. I answered the next question. So those three questions in a row, I didn't even realize because I screenshotted the questions and I put them in a folder. Wow, we're almost through this. Cool. All right, I discovered your channel mainly from Lil Peep reactions. What are your thoughts on him as an artist from all the music that you've heard? Well, I kind of answered that right off the bat. I do like, with the exception, I just reacted to a song today, or yesterday, whatever day it was. Today's Friday. Yeah, today. Castles. It sounded too much like one of the other songs I heard, so I really didn't dig that. But I like the way he tried different styles of music a little bit, and I really like the way he just did it. He just basically sung from his heart what he was feeling, which makes him really appealing. But, so I pretty much answered that. That's about all I got to add to that. How did I get out of my drug problem? Okay. All right, cool. I got 2 questions left. My meth addiction, I didn't realize I was addicted. My friends saw it and were like, nah. So my mom had found out where I lived because I moved out at 17 while she was at work, and she just happened to see me one night. I don't remember how long I'd been gone, but so she found out where I lived, and she came to take me to lunch, and I ate 2 or 3 bites of shrimp fried rice and almost threw up because for 2 years all I ate was a hamburger and fries about 2:30 in the morning. That was it. I didn't really eat any other time. Maybe once in a while, but not regularly. So my body was like, hey, dude, what the hell are you doing? So I was like, oh, shit, I might have a problem. So one of my dealers actually stepped in and had a reputation as a shooter, even though he'd never shot anyone, and threatened to shoot anyone that he caught supplying or found out was supplying me. So my shit got cut off. And then I decided, you know what? The best way to get away from it, because I could have still got it if I wanted to, I assure you. But that's when I realized I really do have a problem. If he's doing that, I need to get out of this. So my friends, for a couple of weeks while I was making up my mind, it may not have been a couple of weeks, that was a long time ago, 1987? They wouldn't do it around me. They would all get in the car and go ride around. I was like, I know what you assholes are doing, blah, 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 but they knew not to do it in front of me. So I was like, I got to get out of this situation. So I completely removed myself from my surroundings and everyone I knew. I got away from that completely. Completely changed my life. Not that I was a better person or, oh, hey, I'm going to college and church and run. Not like that. Completely removed myself from that. To the point where I was walking in the mall one day and 2 people who were super good friends of mine were like, Bob, is that you? And my only response without breaking stride was, no, that dude's dead. And I just kept walking. I never spoke to those 2 people again. So it's kind of tough to walk away from everything you know, but I drastically needed to do it. I was out of control. That was my whole existence, was doing that shit. And I got out, got free. That, like I said, that didn't mean my life was all great, because that January 27, 1987 is when I officially was clean. And by December of that year, I was homeless, sleeping in a Volkswagen van Christmas Eve in Bel Air, Maryland, with a bottle of Jack Daniels. So expect some setbacks. I've had many over the years. But I beat drugs, I beat alcohol, I beat cigarettes. It's a mindset. I hear all these people, well, I can't. Yes, you can. You have to want to. That's the key to all of it, is you have to want to quit. So that's how I got out of it. And if you want, DM me on Instagram. I'm more than happy to talk to you. I actually talked to a few people. And the final question. Back in my teens, what artist was I into? First off, I was raised listening to everything. Literally, my entire life, I've listened to classical, real, true country and western. I love disco. I don't care who likes that or shits on it. I like easy listening. 2 of my favorite bands are Air Supply and Barry Manilow. A lot of people find that weird. But my main groups that I was into was Motley Crue, my all-time favorite band, Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, the Scorpions. If you don't know any of that music, you always want me to listen to yours, go listen to some of that music. There's a reason Ozzy's been in the music business as long as he has and still making hit records. If you say he doesn't have a hit, you need to go listen to Under the Graveyard or Ordinary Man. Amazing. And even if he ain't writing the songs, he's still doing the songs. But there's a reason he's been around that long. There's a reason Judas Priest has been around that long. There's a reason Motley Crue. Amazing. You will find something you like. You always talk about, or not you, specifically you, but people always talk about, well, this is so relatable and I can dig this. All those songs were going up, but back then they weren't allowed to say, well, F you and I ate this and she did this to me. They weren't allowed to say that, so they had to find creative ways to say it. But if you listen to the songs, it's there. So there we have it. I answered the questions. I hope y'all dig it. And maybe we'll do it again in the future. Until next time, I appreciate you hanging out. I almost forgot to say that. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to make someone laugh. Be safe out there. I mean, just please don't be a dumbass. Don't get yourself sick. Don't forget to tell your friends and family that you love them each and every time you leave, because you just never know. That'll be the last chance you get to tell them. Until next time, I am Bob Sixx, and I do appreciate all of you. Y'all have made this a lot of fun for me. I enjoy you. I appreciate you. I know sometimes I may sound like I don't, but I truly do appreciate all of you. Peace.